like the end of 4 years, and this is what you've been working to for the whole of them, and it's just great that you're actually going to graduate.
It's been sort of the end of the era really. It was a really good 4 years, and I'm so glad I came to Nottingham as well. It was my first choice and I'm glad I got here.
It's been a wonderful 3 years. It's so laid back, so carefree, you know. And these are the best years of your life, then you should really cherish them, besides working for a degree, that is.
Will you please sit down? Ladies and gentlemen, I declare this congregation open to the conferment of degrees and the award of diplomas. As Chancellor of your university, it's my privilege and great pleasure to congratulate all those who will be coming up in a few moments' time to receive their awards. May I also, on your behalf, thank the members of the faculty here assembled and many others too who've made this day possible, and also your parents, family, friends who've given you encouragement and are here to cheer you on, my thanks to them on your behalf. Now, this is a great year for you personally. I often think increasingly that education is the foundation for the life that lies ahead, in terms of career in particular, but also for getting fulfillment in life, because the wider your understanding, the more you can interact and participate in all aspects of life and contribute to the well-being of society. But it's also been a great year for your university. I remember well Her Majesty the Queen coming to open the Jubilee campus, a major investment of £50 million, and a major statement by the university of its confidence in its future, and a major statement of involvement in the city, the county and the region. And on that campus we shall see the new college for school leadership, and I know some here today are seeing the teaching profession as part of their future, if not their career future. And I do tell you that in joining this profession, I hope you will look forward in the years to come to becoming members of this college, the school leadership, so that you can be at the frontiers, the front line of your profession. And also, this university of yours was one of those who at the beginning of the academic year was successful in the National Science Enterprise Challenge for creating a world-class centre for an Institute for Enterprise and Innovation. And again, that's significant, of major significance for the university and the city. The more we can translate scientific and other advance into enterprises, that will add to the wealth, well-being of the city, and in turn that will increase the support for the city's university. So that has been a major development during the year. Now, some of us, you will know that in addition to having an honourable position of being Chancellor of your university, in my time I've also been the chairman of the National Lottery Company, Camelot. And therefore, I do know a little bit about gaming. Wisely, I engage in gambling very rarely indeed. I'm possibly the one person in Britain who's never bought a ticket for the National Lottery, because you can imagine the scandal there would be should I do the impossible and be one of the 14 million chance winners. However, I remember a year ago learning that for the 11th year in succession, the awards made to this university for scientific research had increased. And I was unwise enough to lay a wager with Jerry Pattenden, who may be on this platform, mightn't he? And I wagered him £50 that you wouldn't do it again. And lo and behold, you have. And this is the one bet this year that I'm delighted to lose. And I congratulate all concerned in the university in getting 60 million the coming year, and perhaps a copper or two more. So congratulations to all in the university concerned. May I congratulate the students. One of the traditional roles of students is to raise money for charity. And I'm told that under the Carnival campaign, you've raised £200,000 this year, which is more than any other student body has achieved. Super, well done. A very great achievement. Our boundaries are extending. We've got permission to set up a campus, a University of Nottingham campus in Malaysia. Another major achievement. And then, for those of you in the sciences, there's the opening, the completion of the Institute of Pharmaceutical Sciences building, which I passed in my way in. And then there's the D.H. Lawrence building going up. There's no end to what's been happening this year. So, very fittingly, the final year of the old century and the first year of the new one have been a great year for you and a great year to the university. And I congratulate you all on those great achievements. And I look forward to welcoming you when you come forward on the platform. Now, we come to the important part of the day's proceedings. And this morning, we shall welcome two distinguished guests who are to receive honorary degrees of this university. And I have pleasure in inviting Professor Nick Hewitt to present Lord Putnam of Queensgate, CBE, for the award of a doctorate. Sir.
Chancellor, ladies and gentlemen, Lord Putnam was described by Viscount Mersey, responding to his maiden speech in the House of Lords in 1997, as the most distinguished filmmaker in the country. He is also one of our most energetic policymakers, and it is both aspects of his career which we celebrate here today. David Putnam was born in 1941. He left school in 1958 at the age of 16 and joined an advertising agency where his fellow copywriters were Charles Saatchi and the future film directors Alan Parker and Ridley Scott. Lord Putnam refers to the agency as his university. It also provided him with the team with which he was to work when he moved into films. The move, however, was not easy. A powerful ambition to become a film director was not enough. Complex union practices prevented anyone entering the film industry at such a late stage. His uncle, who worked in the industry, ruled out any chance of becoming a film director, but did advise that there were no such restrictions on becoming a film producer. Accordingly, David Putnam entered film production in 1971 with a film called Melody, the first in the extraordinary series of films which made British cinema a genuinely powerful international force. His first major success, That'll Be the Day, in 1973, was followed by Stardust. Then came the child gangster musical, Bugsy Malone, in 1976, and The Duelists in 1977. International acclaim soon followed. In 1978, he produced Midnight Express, which won 2 Academy Awards. And in 1981, Chariots of Fire, which won 4 Oscars, including the Oscar for Best Picture. This vibrant and distinguished production continued throughout the 80s with films like Local Hero, The Killing Fields, The Mission, and Memphis Belle in 1990. David Putnam's importance as a major international figure was confirmed in 1986 by his appointment as chairman and chief executive of Columbia Pictures in Hollywood. The cliché that follows each British film success in the United States, the British are coming, had become literally true. And on Independence Day, that is a fairly apposite comment. It was not, however, a totally happy experience. And in 1988, David Putnam returned to England. He was also beginning to tire of film production and began to turn his formidable energy and talents to the field of public policy. When the Labour Party came to power in 1997, there began what Lord Putnam calls the most fulfilling period of his career. He had been knighted in 1995, and in 1997 was elevated to the House of Lords. To his surprise, the government gave him responsibility not for the arts, but for education, with a particular brief for school teaching and school teachers. He was appointed as the first chairman of the General Teaching Council, the body set up to regulate the teaching profession in England and to be a standard bearer for it. Chancellor, Lord Putnam's approach to the teaching profession has been noticeably different from that of Ofsted, placing emphasis upon encouragement and morale boosting. It was at his instigation that the government introduced a system of awards for excellence in teaching called Plato's, similar to the film industry's Oscars. When addressing the Commons Education Select Committee, he continued the parallel between the teaching profession and the film industry by saying, You can't bully people into making good movies, but you can love them into it and encourage them, make them 10 feet tall. He concluded that at a certain point, someone has to sit down and change and start showering the teaching profession with the kind of respect and regard they deserve. It is no coincidence, Chancellor, that the public figure coming from the arts should also be passionate about education. In the House of Lords debate on the arts, which he introduced in 1998, Lord Putnam quoted William Morris, a great artist and educationalist, as he said, and one of my personal heroes. And he quoted William Morris's vision of a future when all men would be artists and the audience for art would be nothing short of the whole people. It was entirely fitting that he should be appointed as the first chairman and now the first chancellor of Nestor, the National Endowment for Science, Technology and the Arts, established, in his words, to protect the wealth of creativity and inventiveness in the UK. Chancellor, to you and to the whole congregation, I present Lord Putnam of Queensgate as eminently worthy of the degree of Doctor of Letters honoris causa.
David Putnam, by virtue of the authority vested in me, I admit you to the degree of Doctor of Letters honoris causa. My congratulations.